Before we get started, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor, the Magic Satchel. Link in the description. Make sure you check him out for all your cards, supplies, and everything you need to play this game. He's the best. And with that out of the way, enjoy the video.
Hey Absolution fans! Welcome to the island of Misfit units. Units either forgotten, mistreated, or just Bushiroad doesn't care about them anymore. What's on this island? Stay tuned to find out.
It's all my favorite units.
Hello Absolution fans! It's the Captain again, here with our boy, Matt, the Immortal Greed himself.
What's up?
I brought him on especially for this one because he's actually... If there's any units on the island before me, he would
I'm an expert.
He would know he's on the island.
Dude, I got a beach house.
Timeshares the whole night. Airbnb's it, man.
Yeah.
That's almost there for a while. Somebody got off. So, here on the island of Misfit units, this isn't a top 5. This isn't like something... We're gonna, you're gonna have some disagreements here. But this is just units that we personally think are on this island of Misfit units. They've been completely forgotten to time, or they deserve to be remembered, or not for their skill, well maybe for their skill, but just the fact for their impact in the game, popularity, power at the time, or just coolness. Which, as you can tell, is completely based on Matt and I's definition of aesthetic.
It's very subjective, so take this all with an ocean of salt.
Literally the ocean around the island.
Yes.
We'll also be talking about ones that have gotten many a retrain or re-release of different forms. One of these on my list I think has gotten a card in every mechanic and yet can't find a way out of the trash.
It's really a shame. Gosh.
So, starting us off, not in any order, we're going to cover that one first. We're going to talk about Maelstrom and Vermilion, the Limit Break Misfits.
The guys who kind of get the, we're not the main character treatment, and we know it.
One of them was the main villain.
Yeah.
Turned hero. Well, not hero, yeah.
So, I guess let's start with Maelstrom.
Alright. So, Maelstrom has gotten... He has gotten a release, I believe, in every mechanic introduced. So, he has a Limit Break, obviously. He has an Ultimate Break.
Set 8, set 9.
He had redos. Yes, yeah, because they re-released, because Matt, you don't know this, they re-released Maelstrom as a break ride.
Did they?
During Stride.
Okay.
And then I think we got another Glory around that same time. And then I think we got a Stride as well.
We also got the reverse for Karma.
And then you got the reverse for Karma. And then you got... The Legion is the only one that there isn't one for Maelstrom.
Tetra Drive, yeah.
There is not a Legion Maelstrom. And then it's got the re-releases in V2 now. Both Glory and Original.
You honestly could have made Maelstrom that Legion. Because, sorry Tiz, but Tetra Drive was not... It just didn't cut it. Not for the high expectations everyone had for the clan. Not to mention how popular Aquaforce is. Like, what a cool looking clan, what a well designed clan, what a well groomed clan. Everything for that clan was done right. And then you make your boss just average. Like,
Wait, you talking about now or even back then?
The whole time. Leon was awesome.
His character was really cool.
Yeah, and got the wind blowing for him. But
Yeah,
clearly,
quotes.
not enough. The wind stops just when you need it to. The wind stops just when your deck runs out of gas. Every time.
Water everywhere, but never drop the drink.
Not a W to be had.
That's the problem. He's definitely a unit. He is... To say that Bushiroad hasn't... They understood the card's popularity, but they never wanted to give him the... They never put any respect on his name.
And maybe that's due to the clan he was put in. Maybe that's due to, the inherent number of attacks being the problem, or your weakness to retire being the problem. Who knows? But he's in that situation, and we feel for him.
Now, in one special caveat, allow me to become Braxton real quick.
Yeah.
Well, actually, guys, There was Karma that was good at one point in the game. Karma was really good during, I think, Ripples, around that time period. Karma Reverse, Maelstrom Reverse was actually pretty good. And now that we've given him that moment came and it went and it was over. Maelstrom never came back again.
You got maybe a month and a half of good. Are you proud?
Karma, Maelstrom Reverse was probably the one that peaked the most overall.
Yeah, I had a good time playing Glory Maelstrom, but then I'm still playing Ultimate Break and losing in the end.
And then I think eventually they gave it, if I remember correctly, they gave it a combo that would make it an unblockable attack to win games. But even then, that was like, we're talking about jank. That was cheesing it. Like, to say that was a consistent competitive build would be a stretch at the best.
Yeah.
And alongside Maelstrom, unless you got any last words you want to talk about.
See, that's the thing. I don't want to talk more about these. It just hurts because these are all things I like to play.
The problem is, I wouldn't even say he's on the island of Misfit units. I would say he escaped.
Dude, he's a giant aircraft carrier.
But the island's on him, like
along with the rest of the fleet of Aquaforce. Dude, he's carrying the island. He's like the world turtle, but damn, he's unhappy.
On the flip side of that coin is Vermilion. Also seen a lot of potency. Now, granted, I had just entered the game at set 9. So, and I never thought the blood was that good.
Because it wasn't.
And it wasn't good.
What was good about the blood was the number that your base power turned into. Was that nice 13k. That was what made the blood good. Because everything else about it was not good. A set 9 as a set was just kind of it was a big anime set.
Speaking of, a lot of our units on this list got support in set 9.
Yeah. that was a big Hail Mary from them. No, but and I can hear the furious typing right now because we all like Vermilion, excuse me.
That's why he's on this list. What we're talking about him.
What a fantastic card design. What a cool card. Battling all the units at once? Now that's manly. With lightning? Keith, I understand. I feel you, man. I think Alston played set 6 Vermilion. I played set 6 Vermilion. Ryan played set 6 Vermilion. We all had a little taste of it, and it was awesome. But like a wise man once said to me, let's take a look back and see if it's as good as we remember. See if we need to take the goggles off. It was Limit Break. We were kind of we were Stockholmed into liking a dark time of the game because it's all we knew. It was a new mechanic. All right, Limit Break, bad. Counterblast 3? I know I'm holding up 2, but this is my second point. Counterblast 3? That's rough, man. I know you got your little... No. There's no justifying that. Counterblast 3 to attack 3 guys, not good enough.
And then even after that, I mean, going into... So, Legion basically left him in the wayside.
You completely gotten a new archetype.
Yeah, we got Brawlers, which were actually just manly Vermilion.
They were really cool.
They were just super manly Vermilion. They were like, oh, they attack the whole dudes. I'm going to attack everyone.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to be cool because I'm big buff Durgans. I'm MMA Durgans.
Brawlers were really neat.
And then, so they left him the wayside. They brought him back, I think if I remember right, he did get a, I forget what we called them back then. They were like a Revival Legion. Where like they got another grade 3 that legioned with the original card. And it was meh. It's very forgettable because I don't remember what it did even. And then I think he got a few more cards along the way that were also very meh. And then he ended up in V Series as a double R.
It's kind of unspoken at this. I think we all know when you see your favorite unit as that double R, it's like, oh no. What happened to him?
Is he okay?
He's panhandling on the side of the street like, guys, I'm just barely still here.
Like, he's over here. Vermilion's over here saying, like, man, like, I'm only a double R. He looks over and, like, freaking, what's his name from the grade 1 in Kagura right now, the the flame of Ermo. Ermo's sitting over here was a common. And he's like, I'm a triple R now.
I'm the staple triple R grade 1 now.
Like, he looks over and he's like, oh man, that guy really made it.
I used to be $45 a pop for triple R. Did you know that?
Ermo was like, get out of the street, old man.
Pulls his peacoat up and scoffs as he walks on.
Flicks a quarter in his face.
I feel terrible now. And so does he.
So moving on from the boys,
we kind of group those together. They sort of have the same vibe going on.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they both got a decent amount of support.
Yeah.
But they're just still not where they need to be for having that much support. And the problem is that never once when they got the support did they peak in any way.
Yeah.
Stepping aside those two, bringing out the boy himself, who also deserves some love. And this is why he got slapped in the face. All right, Spectral Duke deserved a cross ride. He deserved, even though I don't like Ultimate Break. Nobody does. But he deserved a cross Ultimate Break. And what did he get? Everyone saw... This
is set 9 again.
This is an account...
Wasn't it?
Yes.
It's set 9 again.
This is an account... Like, the only boss unit from set 9 we're not going to talk about is Azel. And that's because Azel has both peaked and seen relevancy throughout the game.
What about Illuminal and Amaterasu?
Illuminal's finally peaked. He's back. He's off the island.
Ami's whatever.
And Ami, Ami's V series,
yeah.
and Ami actually did pretty good. Got a pretty good stride in Stride.
Okay.
So, but those three boys, no. I remember Ryan recounting me the story of like when they saw Chrome Jailer like on the package art, and they were like, "That has to be a cross ride."
There was no way around it. He had the same horn markings, the same armor style, like the same bleak, dark card art. It looked great. Oh my gosh.
And what is it? His name was like Death Dragon or no Destruction Dragon, Chrome Jailer Dragon,
something like that. Redundancy Chrome Jailer Dragon.
And the card, so this isn't about Chrome Jailer, this is about Spectral Duke, okay? Spectral Duke is what we like to call the one-hit wonder. Came in the game at a time of true... There was no Dote, because, well, especially in the West. This is also a very important thing to realize. In the West, because of the order release, so we've mentioned this a few times in the video series, because of the order release, there was no, at the time that we got this limit break unit, there was no Dote, MLB, I think there was Tsukiyomi a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it ran with it. It ran with the world.
Yeah, this was the era like it was Dudley Emperor and it was Spectral Duke because that extra booster was Hot Fire, and then it immediately became not Hot Fire. But that was later. No, Dudley Emperor and Duke, those were the guys to run. Both of them were like solid 40s apiece, running the market. I remember picking up Dudley Emperors and filtering those things quick. Dude, people want
Spectral Dukes too. I remember
Dukes too. I mean, if you want a deck to play, like you remember playing, I like Blonde Azel in set 6. It's like, well, this is better, and it looks cooler, and it's a ride chain. It's more consistent. It stands up. Do you not remember Stern Blau Kluger? Yeah, he stands up too.
Yeah, no, it was good, and he lost the drive still, but still,
it was good.
It was good.
Duke was awesome.
Plus, Spectral Duke spoke to the lore of Gold Paladins in a lot of a better way that, in my opinion, Azel did. Because, like, Azel was never a gold... Granted, he was, like, the warrior that rose from the Gold Paladins or whatever. But, like, really nerdy tangent here. But, like, remember, Season 2, Royals, Shadows, and Kagero locked away. And, like, the Misfits, the, like, whatever was left of those clans... Because I think only, like, the strong and the mediocre units left. Because the lore was, like, Golds was built from whatever was, like, left. That's why, like, there's some... gold units that are from like Royals or like the Ermo became a crit in golds, and like so there's like it's like a misfit, and then like Spectral Duke spoke to that because he was like, I use a Shadow Paladin mechanic, like I retire my dudes to get this restand. It was like, this is Shadow Paladin, but it's not, it's gold, punch your face.
No, definitely, I completely agree with that. And again, I can't speak a lot for V series, but I know seeing Chrome Jailer put me in a really bad mood. All of set 9 put every Vanguard player in a bad mood.
Yeah, the more that I'm talking about this, it's more like I think at one point we did like talk about like most underwhelming sets or most meh sets in Vanguard. Like 9 is like the if that video's never been made, then I'll tell you right now 9 is at the top of that list or very close.
Honestly, like 7, 8, and 9, all three of those speak in my mind as something that should have been left alone.
Well, at least 8 had your boys in them.
8 had your boys. 8 had Dayusha's stuff. I mean, no, that's why it's not as bad as 9, but we digress.
Like, think about 9 to 10 was such a great bump.
Oh my god. Granted, we didn't get 9 to 10 in that order. But...
Yeah, even 9 to 11. So...
Never forget.
I still want to keep talking about Duke for a second, because Duke's train of just sadness doesn't end there. And I love talking about this because he'll never know this. He never knew this stuff. So, like, nothing happens for Spectral Duke after set 9.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he never gets anything in Legion right, because golds go to different sub-arc. Legion, Break Ride, all this stuff. We enter Strides, and we're going through Strides, and we're like, dude, and that's when everyone was like, when? Spectral Duke when? Spectral Duke, like, Shadows, or like, Golds were okay in like G at the very beginning, especially at the very beginning, they were like, not that good. And like, people were like, who can come save us from this? Who needs to be a Stride, who we haven't seen? Duke, Spectral Duke, and then like boom, one day set reveal, like we see this art for a future unit, and it's Spectral Duke, and like, but the only clan getting support in that set is Shadow Paladins, and everyone's like, wait, is he gonna be a Shadow Paladin? So like the rumor mill explodes, and this is Jose Perez anti-money, okay? Look. There's a moment that's too soon to start buying out cards on TCG Player. And these people learned a very hard lesson this day, because even though the picture looked like a Shadow Paladin, even though the only thing that was on the set was Shadow Paladin, Special Dukes skyrocketed in price. Like, sold out on TCG Player, like $45 again. Like, and everyone was like, no. I mean, it's going to be a Shadow Paladin, but it's going to be like Blaster Dark Spirit, that in the skill it's going to say this unit counts as a gold paladin.
No.
That's what's going to happen. And everyone's like, oh, that makes so much sense, and that would have been the right thing to do by the players. But instead, Special Duke comes out, boom, is a Shadow Paladin player. The only person who's happy is Braxton.
As usual.
Because Braxton's like, cool, I didn't want golds at this time either, and I still get my Duke. So he came out, and then he was a good card, don't get me wrong, but like, he falls on I was betrayed.
Yeah. Ever since the beginning we were betrayed. That's all we've ever known. It's kind of his thing. That's why he's a dark dragon. He's got nothing but a brooding past.
He was good. He released. We had fun with him. The sad thing is, even as a Stride, like, he was a 1-of at best. And then, but like, everyone run him as like a tech 1-of. Now came and went. Better Shadow units came out. Ritual came out, and then since then, like, he fell to obscurity, and we haven't even seen him in V. And now it's Ezels on top of Ezels.
Cool, we're getting Platina. No, it's not cool we're getting Platina. That's more set 9.
I want my Duke. If we can get Suki, we can get Duke.
God, it just occurred to me. We totally did. We got Illuminal, Platina, and Glory. What's going on, man? Stop. I'm so unhappy now.
Moving on, so we got those two. Who do you want to go to next?
Let's go to an obscure one. One that we just kind of, right off the top, we were like, you know what? Grand Blue. What's a unit from Grand Blue's deep, dark, underwater past?
It's under the island. They're under the island?
Yeah, way under the island. Let me tell you about a time. A time back in Vanguard's past. It was a time called Set 2. Yeah. Jose doesn't know about this time. A lot of people don't know about this time.
I do know the card, though.
But there is a sweet unit made up of 2 different boys. Samurai Spirit and Knight Spirit, I believe. And you could do a sweet, sweet superior ride into our boy, Spirit Exceed. He was a sweet 10K guy. Had freaking amazing artwork. He's like half knight, half samurai, like blowing up on the card. I love that card.
Gorgeous art.
Also, for some reason, Grand Blue had 2 different superior rides. That was like a thing for them. They were, I don't know, it was between like Aleph, Thanatos, Spirit Exceed. There was a lot of superior ride. Even that one dinosaur for Tachikaze.
Oh, the poopy one? Lego Dino?
Lego Dino. I don't remember his name, but like there was a lot of weird superior riding back in the day, and one that really stood out to me was Spirit Exceed, and he fell off real quick once Set 6 came out. People were playing Kokaitis, people were playing
Goyusha. Speaking of weird superior rides,
yeah, Goyusha as well. I mean, I always liked superior riding. It was such a cool thing to do. The anime, buffed it up a lot to seem pretty cool. But we really wanted to touch on Grand Blue because does anybody remember Spirit Exceed?
Well, if we're talking about the Island of Misfit toy or the Island of Misfit units, like Grand Blue as a clan, in its history, kind of up until Stride, and then this is why I like to tell you guys, like, up until, I mean, if you look at the beginning videos of this channel, man, we make fun of Grand Blue as if, like, it's the butt of every joke.
Yeah.
And we're like, Fred out there, you Grand Blue player, we're sorry that your clan's still garbage, but it's still garbage. Like, it was that way for a day and a half.
Yeah.
Like, it was there the way for, but Spirit, wait, no, wasn't he, was it Spirit? It was Spirit Exceed.
Spirit Exceed.
What a gorgeous card. And I can't even like the thing about that card. The thing about that card is I can't even say an addendum. Like he belongs in the purely forgotten and ignored column of this island. Like never brought back up again. Also, I've avoided mentioning up Mega Blasts because like.
Yeah, well,
because like there was
Gold Paladins are like, you said Mega Blast? Soon. We don't know what that guy does yet.
We don't know what he does yet, but I mean, he was the dude that was a Mega Blast. Also really nice art though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wish I could add any more. Except why? He was such a good card to do, and yet nothing.
I think there was a lot of cards between. I would say just Gen 1 of Vanguard. Between set 1 and set 5, you know, early Neo Nectar, early Kagero, early Grand Blue, all that.
We even got Man in the Trailing Rose, which was a set 5 card.
Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of that stuff, I think has definitely, and a lot of it for good reason, has fallen into obscurity.
I would have put Sephiroth in this list, but he is getting the love finally.
Yeah. No, I'm sounding excited for that. Oof.
Next unit. One that you brought up that I completely have forgotten about. I had to actually think in my brain, and that is our boy Blockade.
Yeah. Seal Dragon Blockade Inferno, I think his name was.
Wait. He did get a stride eventually, but it was bad.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was bad.
I wouldn't have known about that.
I think his stride was in the Fighters collection, and it was like, no good.
We harken back again to set 2. The original Seal Dragon Blockade sitting there with his mummy bandages, and Ryan there sitting with 4 of them like, I know this unit's going to be good one day. And as we get the reveal for set 11...
Blockade Inferno or whatever?
And we see Blockade Inferno looking like the guy on the cover of Deathwing from Cataclysm on World of Warcraft. God, that guy looks so cool with his fiery spikes, and Ryan's sitting here like, I got my... You will not find any more value than right here. Sitting there with his playset. And the whole thing was just a burning ball of garbage.
And in a famous story of Ryan's Hue gone wrong, because this is like the true Ryan trade, Mad Money with Ryan, God trading. Mm-hmm. This is a little bit before then, before he had peaked, truly hit his masterful art. Not only did Bushiroad decide to make Inferno really not that good, and Braxton played it with, he had Dauntless.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm going to play this with Blockade Inferno. So not only did they release a better unit to run with it in Dauntless Drive Dragon, not only did Inferno really not be that good, but they reprinted Blockade in the set.
Yeah,
as a double R. So like all the money that Ryan, like all the value, he's like, dude, I'm gonna get my value, dust.
Yeah,
turn asunder.
and not to mention the whole rest of the archetype was pretty bad. And again, I've got no say for G, but I can say for set 11, there was no hope for it. Well, you know what made that deck good? Dauntless Drive Dragon. Do you know what he wasn't? A Seal Dragon. And I love the idea of it. It was really cool having the sealed up, wrapped up dragons and, you know, burning bandages falling off of them. It was a great idea. But again, one that just failed to execute.
Failed hard.
Because again, what do we get? We got 11 before we got 10. Obviously, set 10 was the glory days before we got Dauntless and Liberators and whatnot and Gauntlet Buster.
But we got Dauntless first, though.
Yes. But set 11 was kind of that weird set. It was not quite a set 9, but I mean, you had Seal Dragon, you had Last Card Revan. Do you remember that one, the Aquaforce guy?
Yeah, Last Card
Sweep Command Dragon.
Sweep Command. You had a lot of like really like additional. It's funny because you had a lot of additional Narukami units, but you didn't have like the real Narukami because the trial deck came out before. But so you could technically play Narukami, but you couldn't play it well because you didn't have the boy.
Yeah, you had Cho-Oh, but you didn't have Descendant.
You were sitting over here with Sweep Command, like I can win.
Yeah.
No kid, no junior.
You need to take a step back, which is actually a step forward.
You say he's coming.
So yeah, Seal Dragon, great looking card, great idea, poopy execution.
Very poopy.
Next up was one we kind of were debating on for a while. There's a lot of units floating around our head, and I think we'll come back to this segment.
Yeah, we'll definitely come to a part 2. The more like we talk about it, maybe we'll
definitely check the comments, see what you guys have to say.
See what you guys have to say, and then we'll rant about these units.
So I think the conclusion we came to was Minerva. And I think we can all agree that Genesis kind of needs its own video. Where did Genesis go? Coming back with this awesome JoJo's mechanic in the future.
I think that's where it went, dude. And Doctor Strange himself to the astral plane and was like,
Genesis was Dio in the coffin at the bottom of the ocean for 100 years.
like it's like the guy who came back like, all right, who was making fun of me? Remember that kid in high school? This is him now.
Yeah. So what was it? Set 14, I believe.
Wait, they introduced Genesis?
For
Minerva was set 14.
Set 14.
Minerva was set 14. Also a very confusing set.
Mm-hmm.
Because set 14 is chunked in right between set 13, the God set, and set 15, the final set of that saga too.
Really good set.
Which also up the power. And also like set 14 is... It was either literally right before or literally right after Blouse and Blouse and Novella as well.
It
was like
a hard time trying to fit in.
It was chunked in between a lot of like huge, powerful stuff.
Yeah.
So because set 14 was like Gantelot Zenith, Dauntless Drive, Reverse.
Yeah.
And
Ashley Reverse.
Ashley Reverse was set 14.
Yeah.
And Minerva. And Minerva was the strongest one in the set, I would say.
Yeah, we honestly can't understate. This card was really good. Like, if we didn't have so many powerhouses out here swinging around, like, it might have been like the deck to play.
Genesis as a clan back in the day. I mean, yeah, like I said, it deserves its own video and sort of thing. Because like when Genesis first came out, it was like finally. DI that can do something.
Yeah.
Like DI that like because like DI chunking all this stuff from the soul and then like. Genesis over here like, well, what if we did stuff with it? And like, Dio's like, what?
You're only supposed to give like 1k power at best.
And so, yeah, Minerva, I put on this list, which is cool how we've been able to do this for each one for a different reason. Minerva's on this island because it is so popular. Mm-hmm. Like, how this card doesn't get the same treatment as Maelstrom and Vermilion is beyond me.
Yeah.
Because unless I'm wrong in the comments, and please let me know, Minerva saw very few or no revivals of any kind in V or G.
I don't remember any.
And if it was in G, it has been long forgotten. And it definitely wasn't in Legion because that was Yggdrasil.
Yeah.
And you know who you played with Yggdrasil? Minerva.
She is very clearly waifu material, so what's the problem?
She was hugely popular with the community for that reason.
Yeah.
She had her own statue that you could purchase.
I forgot about that. That one was in the dark for me.
Like, there's no Vermilion statue. There's no Maelstrom statue.
I'd buy a Vermilion statue.
There's no Alfred statue. You know I'd buy that.
That's trash.
All we got is the Minerva statue. Like, the thing is, I equate this to another unit. I think about, like, how many times have I had to deal with a new form of Lukier?
Mm-hmm.
Countless. Talk about a card that retained value for no reason. Only reason to buy set 7 is you could pull a $70 Lukier.
It's Silverthorn Dragon Tamer Lukier. Oh, man.
So, and Lukier is not on this list at all. Lukier is off the island. It's a ton of retrains, some of them good. Including, I think she came on that set too. Set 14.
Venus?
Yeah. Lukier Venus.
Venus was really good.
Venus came on that set too. Minerva, great card. Very popular. Deserves... the Genesis players out there need to be screaming at Bushua for a lot of reasons. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not now they got the Astral Plane released. They should be like, all right, this satisfies. But where's my grade 5? My grade 5 Minerva.
Yeah, really. Yeah, give us a one for the Astral Plane. Pour one out for her, or at least the owl on her shoulder. What was it, Wisdom Owl or something?
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, Minerva and Genesis as a whole, let's be honest.
So that's 4.
Yeah. What are we missing here?
Oh, speaking of DI.
Oh yeah, that's what we
said. This boy, I think, has seen a little bit of update over time, but once again, I think it's even sadder if I know that they got some kind of reborn version, but it's so forgetful that I can't remember if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah.
And that's our boy Reiji.
Yeah, good old Blade Wings. And I don't know, did they become an archetype later, Blade Wings?
Yes, a little bit.
Because he came out at 7 or 8, set 7 or 8, I think.
Yeah, wait, in English? Yeah,
in English.
Yeah, and then I think they got Blade Wings as an overall got some support later in the game into G, but I don't think it did anything.
Yeah.
Like people talked about it for a while, and then it kind of faded into obscurity. But I don't think Reiji itself ever saw like an actual retrain or anything like that.
And nowadays, you can look at Blade Wing and kind of go, huh, whatever. Crit stacking is kind of, you know.
It got +2 crit though, man.
It did. No, that's the thing. Is it got +2 crit? That was and that was probably the first time we'd seen such a high natural crit just sitting on a unit like that before. Blade Wing was really cool. Like I know it was some massive soul cost, maybe 15 or 20 or something.
It was pretty chunky.
Yeah, it was like a huge soul cost, but you got that passive just beat you over the head crit. So I remember everybody likes playing that stall game, keep you at like 2 damage or something, 2 or 3 damage, and then just you have that death threat sitting on the board the whole time. Blade Wing was awesome. It was at kind of like a weird point for DI where Amon had just fallen off. We didn't have Amon reverse. I don't know what happened to Amon, to DI as a whole in the gray area there between the reverse tree and what was their boss? Now that I think about it, did they have
What, back then?
Yeah, like back then between the Amons, between original Amon and set 3 and reverse Amon. What I don't even remember their boss. It was so forgetful for me.
Boy,
Emblem Master? No, he's like a grade 2, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think Emblem Master was a grade 2. Was it Lord of the Five Elements?
Maybe. We don't even know. They're all most of DI is on this island for us. But Blade Wing was the guy that stood out because he just, stacking crits was awesome.
He was spicy, dude.
He was really cool.
His skill, like the +2 crit, I was like, dude, this card's spicy, dude.
Yeah.
This card, even though the thing is, Reiji always made me think. Cards like Reiji always made me think that eventually, like I thought at some point. We haven't seen it today, but I always thought, like, a card like Reiji, I was like, dude, you know where they could take DI that could make it really bad? Just make a series of cards that just say discount for, like, if you have, let's say, when this unit goes into Soul, this is what I was thinking, like, back in the day, like, how you make DI good, is, like, if the card that said, like, if this card goes into the Soul, if there's already 10 cards in the Soul, this card counts for 5.
Whoa, so it counts as a soul charge 5?
No. So like basically, when counting the number of cards in Soul, this card counts for 5 units.
If you already have
if you already have a certain amount. So like continuous, if there are 10 cards
that
in Soul, this card counts for 5 cards
that
in
could be
Soul.
really dangerous.
That way, but the thing is, it prevents a lot of the issues. 1, soul charging triggers, and 2, decking out.
Right.
And it like gives you like a unit that you should never really get out, and it makes you like be very aware of like where your resources are. But that's a complete tangent there. But like that's what Reiji made me think of because I was always like, dude, the only reason this card's bad is because like having that many cards in Soul is just a dangerous thing to do.
That's very true.
I remember my boy Thomas was a very jokester kind of guy. He was starting a game like calling like it's like I got 3 yellow flashes or yellow bolts.
Yeah.
I'm calling 3 yellow bolts.
That is a dangerous.
I'm calling 3 yellow bolts. I'm resting 3 yellow bolts. I end turn.
That's so unnecessary. But yeah, so it's he kind of has fallen off into obscurity. I have no say for G, but I'm sure it didn't matter.
And I think we got some honorable mentions here. All right,
We'll keep the honorable mentions to we'll do one. Let's do one here.
Let's do one
so we can have some more for other videos.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the boy that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
If anyone, I consider this man the president of the island, the king.
Yeah.
King. Okay, I know this isn't a top 5, but this is the Misfit man. All right, this is the forgotten hero of the island, and that is Sylvis, the original grade 4 of Great Nature, and
base 13 power.
Base 13 power. Do you remember what his skill even was?
He gained power for something or other.
He wasn't that bad, right, at the time?
Let me do a quick little search.
While he does that,
yeah.
His second skill was continuous. This card cannot be played after a certain date, I think in 2012, 2013.
Let's see. Apologize for the quick look.
For the quick look. The thing about Sylvis is, the reason why I consider him the president of the island, he's a grade 4. He was the first grade 4. What was the skill?
Yeah, so it was cannot be put in a deck after February 28th, 2013. And then Vanguard was when it attacks a Vanguard, if the number of Great Nature you have is 3 or more, gains 10k. Nothing flashy, but man, that body. That was
23. That's a big chunk.
It was big. Big old rabbit. If you guys don't, I know it's hard to see, but it was a big old chemistry rabbit. Man, and it came as a promo, I believe.
It was a promo.
You got a little single promo pack.
The only card I really know of that was banned by its own effect.
Yeah.
It was ahead of timer. Anywho. The reason why it's on this list, okay, is there are grade 4s in the game now.
Yeah.
Like this card was totally built to basically see what a grade 4 could do to the game.
Mm-hmm.
There are now grade 4s in the game. Heck, in a few more months, there's going to be grade 5s in the game.
Yeah.
There was an entire 2 to 2.5 year stint where grade 4 was the main mechanic of the game. And yet in all that time, in all those units, Sylvest never saw his return to the game as he deserved to.
Probably the most unfair thing I've ever heard of. Of all the units, you could have just made a little janky nod, a little terrible great nature stride, just like we remember you. But
Pepperidge Farm remembers. Watch there actually there'll be a stride that is Sylvest and I just don't know it.
I'm actually.
Is there?
Yeah.
Is there?
Lifelong honorary Professor Sylvest.
Oh nay!
It's like a cat though. I mean, again, I don't know V, but like it's like some cat thing.
It's a rare from the technical booster.
Okay, it's a rare, so maybe all right. We got the nod, but we didn't even know about the nod. How could we have known?
No, this card deserves to be a double R on legacy alone. They threw Sylvest into the game. They basically told that, I know we're adding a lot of humanoid traits to cards here, but they threw this card into the wild. They made people fans of this card. They told them, you know what, we're testing the waters, but once we know, maybe he'll come back. They waited until the second technical booster of G.
I don't know what that even is.
Technical boosters were basically what extra boosters are now.
Okay.
Technical boosters, they just picked like 3 clans and they went with them.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure Technical Booster 2 came out in like the tail
Okay, but it's not
end.
even the same unit though. It's a cat. The first one was a rabbit. Is there like another one that we're missing? Because like. I'm sort of glad we're fact checking ourselves mid video.
Yeah,
but
July 22nd in Japan and August 26th, 2016.
Mm.
So it's 3 years later, in a rare, in a set that probably nobody bought. I'm calling hacks. Though I do feel very silly that I didn't know this, but
well, I mean, who could have known? I mean, it's a single R card. I mean, you look at your triple R's, your
and there is not another.
What is it? A GR? Is that a thing?
Yeah, GR.
GR's
the highest rated.
and stuff. Yeah. So, who could have thought to look at this single rare?
Just making sure I'm not. No, he's the only one.
Okay, good.
He is the only one, and he came at. I think that was the last set. No, I probably wasn't the last set, but it was close to the last set that Great Nature was in before 2018, and like.
But the stride is neither here nor there. This card banned itself.
Oh, I will say this though, he does have the same skill.
Well, like exactly the same skill?
Continuous when you have 3 or more rear guards, this unit gets plus 10k power.
Oh.
Well, so not only did he come late in the game, but they didn't even ump him. They didn't be like, oh, here you go. Bushiro basically said, hey, you were good enough then, you're good enough now.
But it gets its keyword, I guess? Success?
Yeah, it gets success. Success is like, if you reach that power stage,
okay,
you get success.
Well, that was a bit of a trip.
Sorry about that, guys. Usually, a better channel might edit it, but I think you want to see us caught in our own little trap there.
But I think the real message, the real take home here is we miss Sylvest.
We didn't even know.
and if you guys don't know what Sylvest is, I don't blame you because it didn't exist for most people for a while. Take a look at the card. You'll notice even the font on the grade 4 in the corner, it's like way too big. It's like someone just tried to like take a unit, like expanded the text box a little too much. Grade 4 is really fat.
In the original?
It's a cumbersome looking card.
Alright, that being said, what about you? What units do you are like, man, I love this unit, or man, remember this unit? Completely on the island, alright? Mm-hmm. Island Misfit units, let us know who's there. Comments down below. And while you're there, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like. We'll see you next time with the Absolution. Peace.